Mexican game, and the game is Wolfenstein Youngblood. Uh, Wolfenstein Youngblood was a lot of fun. That game was a lot of fun. It's it's Wolfenstein. So if you've never heard of the game, I've never played any of them. This is my first one. But the premise is, what if the Nazis won the war and time marched on, and you're now in the future where the whole world is under Nazi occupation, and it looks like pure fascism. A hero rises up by the name of Blaskowitz, and he kills Hitler, and the world is free again. That's what Wolfenstein is. And it is supposed to be some fever dream. But it's by Bethesda, by the way. They're great. I'm saying that, but they're probably my favorite game developer. They make Fallout, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, Starfield is the latest one. Wolfenstein, Doom. Okay, so I'm not gonna read off Wikipedia. I did that earlier. I started writing one of the essays for the channel, for the YouTube. I haven't played any of the other Wolfenstein games. Youngblood was my first try at a Wolfenstein game. Bethesda is my favorite studio. I might have played Fallout more than any other game. Maybe Star Wars. This is a story review. That means I'm trying to figure out what the story of the game means. What is it trying to tell me? In Wolfenstein Youngblood, the main character of the other games has twin daughters. It seems like the family is structured around the war. Within the world of Wolfenstein, the main character, Blaskowitz, killed Hitler, winning the war. A war where the Nazis won World War II. Far into the future, Blaskowitz restores freedom to the world. But the United Nations had disagreements that left room for Nazi occupation to return. The story starts when his daughters steal a plane and armor to go looking for their dad. The Paris resistance had answers. Jesse and Sophia have a lot of personality. I think the charm of their personalities and how they relate to each other carries the game. It carries the narrative. To get from A to B, they have to take down 3 info towers. It's clever because of the Eiffel Tower, but right when the story is ready to progress, they're betrayed by the leader of the resistance. With the help of their best friend, the girls survive, break into Nazi headquarters, and free their dad. From there, they stop the antagonist from destroying the world through weather or traveling dimensions to cause more problems. The story ends with a happily ever after. The family that trains to fight Nazis lives to keep fighting. It's a neat story. When looking at it, the dad walks out, and okay, that's where I left off with the essay. That's where I had the bright idea to start the podcast because I was talking about it earlier. I was talking, and I don't know, the format seemed right. Just talking about the game rather than writing an essay. So, Blazkowicz, huh? How about that? um, okay, the story. I played the game, and it's a lot of fun. There's something, the most fun part about it is the character of the two girls. And the way you say that is how they relate to each other. It's like a teenage angst rock and roll high five where the two girls they're the most important person in each other's lives. And they don't want to spend a moment away from each other, it seems. It's the strangest thing. It's they're twins, and they manage to capture a feeling of, do you know where so and so is? And in finding so and so, the other person's going to be there, her sister. It's them. Do you know where they are? And they actually managed to capture that in a video game. Now, story wise, what's interesting, if you take also spoilers, I have to put a tag up on there. But when you start to look at this story from the very beginning, it has the impression of a dad that walked out. Now, the story is saying that he left to go fight the war. But he's also trained these two girls their whole lives to fight Nazis. So, from a story standpoint, you can look at it as a deadbeat dad happened, of where this very tight family unit who is surviving during a wartime has a father figure that disappears on them. And they decide to say no and go look for him. The other way to look at that is to say that they have trained their entire life. And their dad went to work and left them behind. Then it's a story where a type of arrogance, not arrogance, but a type of pride takes place, of where these two characters feel like they have something to prove. They feel like they have something to prove to the point where they'll take the initiative themselves. They see Dad saved the world once. Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't leave us behind. And they go to a military base. I don't remember seeing this, but apparently it's in the Wikipedia. They go and steal military armor, weapons, and a plane. And they fly to Europe to go look for their dad in the middle of a Nazi war. They have that mental capacity where they will arm themselves and say, I'm going to go stop the war myself. This game is really neat. I'm gonna look at it first through the perspective of there's a dad who walked out on a family during wartime, which is tragic. And the daughters who are saying that they're not going to stand for it, that they were raised to say that their family unit was stronger than that. So they head off to Paris and they talk to the underground, which is really neat. If there's ever a secret underground organization that's the resistance, La Resistance, they should always use the French. So they make contact there, and there's a whole flood of people to talk to. They've got maps and guns and a base underground. They've got boats. They've got radios. They've got people hidden. They can place you in places. They're secret. I can't. They even have a shooting range. It's underneath Paris in those tunnels where they always talk about. You can still take tours down there. And there's skulls lining the walls. I forgot what that was from. But they made contact, and fast forward. The leader of the resistance is a saboteur. He's a Nazi. Both of them are. I forgot their names. It was Lulu. Let me see if I can find it. I keep thinking of Captain America, Baron Zemo. I almost said Zola. drug the wine, and Lothar. Juju drug the wine, and Lothar gloats. That's who those two characters are. And they sabotage the two twins. And the two twins are saved partially because they have a black best friend who joined them in Paris, who is the daughter of the mom's best friend, I think, who is a politician. It's neat. She's a tech. They have a tech guru friend. So the two girls, it's so much charm in this game. The two girls go out and they fight the war, and then they come back home and high five and talk to their tech genius friend to see what sort of step up they can get. So story. Odds are the same thing happened to the dad. This really strong dad hits Paris, and he decides that where's the Nazis so I can go hit them and go home. And he doesn't see it that the leader of the resistance is also the Nazi, the main Nazi that he's looking for. And and he sells him out to the Nazi group, and now he's captured. Now his daughters arrive. But his daughters managed to survive. And I think that's saying that community matters. If he hadn't run off alone, if he had actually brought his daughters along, they would have survived this attack. Because the daughters did survive. But the daughters survived because even they felt the need for community to call and bring someone along to help. Fast forward, the daughters go save the dad. And the dad says, "You are very capable. Go win the war." And they go hit Lothar. They go punch Lothar and Juju. And everyone lives happily ever after. Okay. When thinking about this story, I think it's making a statement about family. And there's a statement about the strength of a family, an overarching message of there's the Nazi occupation, and then there's the Allied, I think that's what they called it, the Allied forces. And the Nazis practiced something. What was it? It's hold on, let me look it up. It's not a monarchy, it's a dictatorship. A totalitarian dictatorship. Which means that there's one person making There's one person in charge. He is the leader. There's one person as the figurehead. Dictatorship, not a monarchy. What's a monarchy? A monarchy is a form of government where a single person, the monarch, king, queen, emperor, serves as the head of state, often for life, with power varying from absolute to purely ceremonial, typically passed down hereditarily, but sometimes elected, acting as a symbol of national identity, stability, and community continuity. They have a picture of the Queen of England, a form of government where a monarch at the head. What? As a person's at the head of the government ruling for life, like a king or a queen. I guess tone. There's other things like the king and queen don't necessarily run the government. A symbolic or actual ruler of a country, a role usually held for life. Oh, oh, I get it. A monarchy is when people decide we're going to have a king queen. A dictatorship is when someone decides I am your king or queen. I get it. That's the difference. I see. Um so so they're basically talking about, I think, the strength of a family. Um so the dad decides to leave, and it's a deadbeat dad type of story. And the daughters say, "No, our family was raised, we have a stronger family than that." And they go to support their dad. There's a trap. They see through the trap, but they survive. And they rescue their dad. And it's super heartwarming. So, what happens in this story is two daughters lose their dad. The dad walks out at the worst time, which is wartime. And I believe what the game is asking or saying is that their family, which is grown up around the war, is indeed strong enough to handle it. But the dad walks out, and the daughters can't believe it. and they refuse to believe it. So they head off to go find Dad. And the booby trap, which captured Dad, is foiled. Because they have a friend. Because the two girls believe in what their dad taught them, which was community. And it's what saves the day. It's it's an overarching message. Because what it's saying is a dictatorship does not believe in community. So it takes one more step back and says no to the Nazi. But how does it say that? It says it by having two daughters hug their dad. It's picking community over what the dad picked in the beginning of the story, which is ego. And if someone decides to pick ego, it means that they're living in their shadow, which isn't good. It's the darkness. And the two girls decided to pick community, which is to help support each other and the community of Paris. They got there and said, "How do we help?" And they brought their best friend who likes computers along, and she said, "How do we help?" Rather than the dad who left on his own and probably went over there and said, I'm a super guy. Show me where the bad guy last was standing. I'll go track him down and beat him up for you." Um, but overall, what that's saying is, I think, I think the game is saying that love is stronger than war. I originally thought it might be saying family. Um, because if you put it on a scale, their dad didn't run off the. I was thinking this. Their dad didn't go run off the to fight in a golf tournament. It's not. It's not family versus the golf tournament. It's their family. The girls are puzzled about their family versus the Nazi war. So I'm thinking it's family versus war, and the story is saying families are stronger than war. Which is a kind message. Families are stronger than war, and your family can survive a war and be happily ever after. It's possible. Or it's something I'd have to think about. He could be taking a step even further and saying love is stronger than war. I might go with the family one. Wolfenstein Youngblood is a charming game, believe it or not. It's the Nazi war. But these two daughters run through like they've got teenage angst. They high five and joke around in elevators. They listen to music. They do rock and roll hand signals at each other. If one of them, the way that most games operate, Tale of Tsushima was really interesting. If you get hurt, the way that you heal yourself is you punch yourself in the side. Like Kylo Ren, you just punch yourself in the side and you say that didn't hurt me enough. That didn't hurt me. And you heal and you keep fighting normal. In this game, if you get hurt, you take a knee and you call for your sister. you call, hey sis, help me out. You just take a knee and you try to hobble off to safety, and then she comes running over. And she's got the specs of a tank. No matter how you gear yourself in this game, the damage, there's a difficulty. The damage will hit you. You have to level up, and when you take a knee and call your sister, whatever she's doing, she seems to be able to handle the battlefield way better. Well, that's Wolfenstein. That's my review of Wolfenstein Youngblood.